Today I want to talk about a very, very important topic. What is misinformation? And also a very, very important announcement for all the subscribers and all the viewers. Even if you have not subscribed yet, I wanted to bring your attention to my other video I made, and I show you a link right here. You can click on it and go to this video. It is very important because I show you the Stanbridge Scientific website where you can get more information, content that I do not show on YouTube because they censor it, because they don't want you to know about a certain number of topics. So go and check this video because I show you what kind of additional information you can get on the Stanbridge Scientific website. And on this website, you can find a lot of really, really useful information regarding COVID-19. If you go to this tab here and you click there, you will see a lot of information, COVID-19 vaccine official data. I will also add new information about the UK, the EU, and I will update it regularly every week. So check it out. There's a lot of really, really good information. Here I made graphs for you guys, and I did all these compilations. And I think it's really a lot of useful information regarding vaccine side effects and a lot of other topics. Here you can see there is also YouTube viewers and followers blog. You can click on it and you can comment, post your comments there. And you will also find a lot of useful information regarding coronavirus transmission and vitamin D, also how to protect yourself with vitamin D, sunlight, and other topics. So go there. There is also a video tab. You can click and you can go directly to my first YouTube channel, second YouTube channel, or Rumble channel as well. You can also sign up. I really recommend you do that here. All you need is your name, your email, and that's it. You just click submit and you're subscribed on my list. And I do not share this information with anyone. Okay, it just stays between you and me. This is only to send you announcements about new videos and to inform you about what's going on with YouTube, because they have been blocking me, they have been censoring me, they have been deleting videos that they don't want you to know about, which is insane because all the stuff I show you is completely scientific, unbiased, and official, okay? Official data, but they don't want you to know about it for some reason. So that's why I recommend you subscribe here, because then I will be able to inform you if something happens again, and I can redirect you to new videos on a different website. What is misinformation? As you can see from this definition, I just searched it online, and I looked at different definitions because I think it's always the best way to make an informed decision, to take information from different sources, as many as you can, and compare them, and then make a synthesis and decide what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. Use your common sense, judgment. So let's have a look here. Misinformation, here it says false or inaccurate information, especially that which is deliberately intended to deceive. Then we can look at Wikipedia, which is always a great resource, as we all know, since there is tons and tons of misinformation on Wikipedia. There are a few things which are right too, actually, because it's really difficult to fake things that people know for sure. Like, for example, if you look at the date when President Reagan actually won the elections in the 80s, then you can find this date, and there are so many different sources that you can look at that it's difficult to fake. If you look at the date of the last Olympic Games, well, it's going to be really difficult to fake it too, these kind of things. Or if you look at, let's say, the charge of an electron, okay, it's in every textbook. It's really difficult to fake. But of course, as we know, there's a lot of things that can be faked, especially new things when there is a lot of agitation around specific topics like COVID today. That's one of the big problems that we face. So the definition of misinformation here is pretty much the same. Misinformation is incorrect or misleading information presented as fact, either intentionally or unintentionally. All right. If you look at the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the meaning of misinformation is incorrect or misleading information. Very simple. So I wanted to look at what the WHO, World Health Organization, and also what YouTube, our friend YouTube, tells us about misinformation. You see here, how to report misinformation online, the WHO. And so the WHO has this page on misinformation, how to report misinformation online, help to stop the spread. And they give you a number of guidelines. They tell you how to do it. You see, Facebook, YouTube, report inappropriate content, Twitter, etc., etc. So the WHO is fighting misinformation. They even have a Mythbusters pages. Isn't it the WHO, by the way, at the beginning of the pandemic 2 years ago, in March 2020, masks were not useful, that most people should not be wearing masks, especially healthy adults. 30th of March 2020, WHO officials do not recommend mask wearing for healthy members of the general population. Masks should be worn for those with the disease or those in close contact with those infected. Okay, so that was their recommendation. The WHO also said that using a mask can give a false sense of protection for healthy people, in that it can also put people at a greater risk of transmitting germs and making themselves or others sick. And if you search this on the internet, you will find a lot of announcements by the WHO saying they do not recommend wearing masks. Now, if you go a bit later, a few weeks later, in June 2020, WHO changes stance, says public should wear masks. And you can find this information very easily. I'm going to show it to you here. If you go to this website, you will see 8th of June 2020, the WHO has changed its stance on wearing face masks during COVID-19 pandemic. People over 60 and people with underlying medical conditions should wear a medical-grade mask. The general public should wear a 3-layer fabric mask in those situations. Let me highlight this, a 3-layer fabric mask. Okay, what does it mean exactly? This is a very important question, actually, the mask. What does mask mean? Again, that's one of these blanket terms that means everything and nothing at the same time. People need to understand what masks are. People first need to understand there are hundreds of different types of masks, and that each mask is designed for a specific purpose. The materials used are different, and there's a reason for that. And so, if we want to start talking about masks, we have to go a little bit more in depth and start to talk about what masks really are, what are the different types of masks, and what is the use of the mask, and how good they are really to filtrate virus particles. We need to talk about this. I'm going to make some videos on this. Actually, I'm going to make a series of videos on this and talk about what the masks are, which masks really protect you and which don't, and I will explain why. But there's a bit of issue here because YouTube doesn't really want you to know about this information either, okay? They don't want anyone to say that, for example, cloth masks don't protect as well as the N95. Okay, that's their stance. So if you go to their guidelines, if you go to my other video where I show the guidelines, you will see that that's their stance. Okay, so we have to be careful. I will make these videos and I will probably make an announcement here on YouTube, and I will refer to the full video that explains everything about masks on my website. Okay, so bear that in mind. But here, the WHO, really, you see, they change their stance. So what does it mean? They change their stance in a very short period of time, in just a few weeks' time. And so the question is, does this constitute misinformation? To say one thing and then to reverse it just very shortly after and say pretty much the opposite. Is this misinformation? You decide. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think?